What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today is Thursday, September 8th. It's day 65 inside the Big Brother house, and it's double eviction day, baby. That's right. On tonight's episode, it's a 2-hour double eviction. We will be live right here on the channel doing a watch party. So if you've never shown up for one, tonight is the night to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just a whole week of Big Brother in one episode. We'll have the HOH, the Veto, which are going to be huge competitions that are going to change the way the game moves forward depending on who wins them. Plus, it's just going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you come on and join us for that. But we have a lot to go over from the Veto episode and also from the live feeds yesterday. So let's kind of break this down real quick. Again, it was the Veto episode. We picked up kind of where we left off with nominations. Michael nominated Terrance and Alyssa, just trying not to make as much waves as possible. He wanted to be able to go into this next week without having to need to win Veto, but he also kind of knows at this point, like, he needs to win the competitions. But if there was a way that he didn't have to win and could be safe some other way, he would have liked to try and do that. And he knew that there was no way Terrance wouldn't take the shot at him. So Terrance is his main target to leave. Terrance also threatened him to taint the jury and kind of poison them against him if he gets sent there. And Michael didn't take kindly to that. And he's like, all right, you want to do that? Well, see you later. So that was kind of where we stood before we got into the actual competition, which was BB Comics. Michael won. It was a landslide. Terrance had like 24 minutes. Everybody else was kind of around 12 to 13 minutes. And then Michael had 9 minutes. It was not even close. Brittany and Terrance had some great falls dropping off that zip line as they made their way around. And also, while we're talking about the comics, I kind of want to go over them real quick. Take a look at them and say what I like, what I didn't like, because I have some thoughts about a lot of them. So let's pull these up here. First up, we got the Pooch. It's very basic. It's almost not even really creative. Like, you just took his name, you put the in front of it, and then Pooch is like a dog, so you made him a dog. I don't know. Next, Ameerah. Same thing. It's like they didn't have anything for her. So they're like, what's her name rhyme with? Beer? Let's do that. Okay. Terrible. The short order crook. So they're going with the whole idea that she's like an evil villain, I guess. And that's what they're going for here. You could have done so much better with this too. Old McDaniel, like an old McDonald, but like Elvis thing is right there. Like, you could have easily just done something like that, but they didn't. Oh, Joseph, the shredded. You could have taken any of the like jacked shredded dudes from any of these past seasons and put them on this, and it still works. Like, it's not even really situated to Joseph himself. It's just a generic one. They were like, oh, we don't have anything for him, let's make up a muscle dude. Terrible. Alyssa again, they're like, what's her name rhyme with? They just have no creativity anymore. I don't know what's going on. Then we had the copycat for Michael. This one, like, in retrospect, kind of is a little bit cooler because of the whole 9 competitions now. By winning this one, he now holds the record tied with Janelle for the most competitions won in a season with 9. He also holds the Veto record now with 6. But yeah, I don't know. He likes cats, so they made it a cat thing. At least it relates to him, which I like, and I give him credit for that. Compared to a lot of other ones where you could fill anybody in there and it still works. Brit Flea. Now, this one actually started a lot of the things we've been talking about on the live feeds for the past few days, how Brittany has kind of spiraled, and I think this might have had a lot to do with it. Now, obviously, Brittany could just be Brittanying, right? And that's why she's kind of spiraling. But I feel like it was after she saw this that really kind of made her think, wait, is that what people think of me? That I'm just kind of like a flea and I'm annoying in the house and like I'm a bug? Is that what my game's perceived like? Maybe I have to do more. And she wanted to try and push for Michael to use his veto and get Turner or Monte to be the replacement nominee, which does make sense, but also I don't think they would have had the votes to get them out necessarily. And again, for Michael, it still makes more sense to get Terrance out, because at least with Monte and Turner, which we'll talk about in a little bit, there's a chance they might not put him up. Spoiler alert, there's not. But there's a chance, he thought, that he could find a way where he doesn't have to win the veto. And this really is, I think, the catalyst for why Brittany tried to play so hard this week, when really she could have just chilled out and not blown up her game really the way she has. There's a lot of people that if they're were maybe on the edge, like, you know what, maybe we don't take out Brittany. But now after this, they're like, yeah, if we can't take out Michael, you just take out Brittany. Like, it's kind of sealed her fate in that aspect. We had the rug of war with Turner here, and oh man, they did him dirty. They did him real dirty here. He looks like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. He looks like Rambo took a meat cleaver to the face. Like, they really messed him up. I would be mad if I was Turner and this was my comic. Awful one. Awful. I have a lot of thoughts about this one with Monte. So they went with the whole Count of Monte Cristo, like a play on that. But instead of Cristo, they went with Twisto, like it was a whole bunch of old Big Brother twists. You've got the coaches up there, so you got Brittany and Dan from BB14. You got Team America on there. They also have BB16 represented with the reset button, because that was a thing during that as well. You got Eric Stein, America's player, the BB hacker. I think the little box with the question mark is supposed to be Pandora's box. You got the BBRV, and then that tree. I don't know if anybody caught this. That tree is reference to the Apple thing that they did in week 1 of BB19 when Josh took the apple and then it caused like a whole thing. So, but he won money from it. So here's my problem with this one. If I was a house guest and I saw this for another house guest, I would think that they have some kind of power. They're part of some kind of twist that we're not aware of. And if I was Monte and I saw this and they gave me a comic book like this, I'd be pissed. Like, are you trying to put a target on my back? Is that what you're trying to do? Luckily for him, I don't think anybody thought about it too deeply. They just kind of took it for what it was, as a jokey cartoon. But I'm telling you, if I was in this game, I would automatically think, yeah, Monte's got some kind of secret power of veto. He needs to go immediately. But again, lucky for him, I don't think anybody really thought about it too deeply. After that, we got DJ Snowtime, just a play on the whole DJ Showtime thing that Terrance has going on. I will say visually, this one kind of looks the coolest. I don't know. I think I just like the blue and the white coloring that they got going on. But yeah, basic. Taylor chip playing on the whole with the Lay's thing and her always eating Lay's potato chips. And I'll tell you what, she's looking good in this picture. Sprainiac, this one's not too bad for Jasmine as well. It's playing off the whole sprained ankle thing, and the muffins are there too, so not a terrible one. Maybe one of my absolute favorite ones, the Brazilian waxer. I don't know. I think I just like it for the good little giggles you get from it. Also, the she's got big wick energy. I think that's a great little tagline they got for it. And probably the best one, the one that kind of took the most shot at someone, was Rep Kyle. Crimes about to suffer reptile dysfunction. I think this guy down here watched Kyle and Alyssa on the pool floaties, and this is his reaction for afterwards. Yeah, this one was also a pretty good one. But that pretty much covers the BB comics. Let me know what you guys think. Which ones did you like? Which ones didn't? Did you have a favorite one? Let me know in those comments down below. Other than that, the veto episode ended with Michael not using the veto. We did see the convo between Turner and Brittany, which kind of started a lot of the events that we've been talking about on the live feeds, where she pitched a final two to Turner, and Turner was like, yeah, Monty, want to take a shot at Michael, right? And they were kind of talking back and forth and making deals about like maybe doing a final four and all that kind of stuff. Brittany did report a lot of this to Michael, but she didn't tell him about the final two stuff. Turner, on the other hand, went right to Brittany, right to Michael, told him everything. And this has really started a lot of the boys getting together. So you got Michael, Monte, and Turner being like, listen, we can just team up, win every competition, and then not have to worry about it and just kind of run this game. And this is fantastic for Michael, because he said, this is exactly what I wanted. Not to have to worry about, if I lose, I could be going up. But yesterday on the live feeds, some things happened. So let's talk about what happened on the actual feeds yesterday, because there was a lot of game talk. Again, the boys, they all met up, kind of reaffirmed that they're sticking together. They talked about like their plans going into the HOH. And if either of Monte or Turner were to win, they would put up Alyssa and Taylor, or Alyssa and Brittany, with the possible renom being Taylor. And they said, listen, Michael, if you win veto and you want to take down Brittany, we totally understand. We would throw Taylor up there, and then we could take it from there. And that seemed to be the way they were going to go until later. We'll get to that. There were some other little game chats. Alyssa and Turner kind of met up, and he just reassured her that she was going to be safe and that Terrance was going to be going home, even though Terrance is like very confident that he's staying and feels like he has a lot of people's votes, like Turner and Monte, though he might at this point, I think, realize that there's a pretty good chance he's going to be going as well. But I think in his heart, he's like, yeah, there's a chance I'm staying, when there's no chance he's staying at all. We also had Monte and Taylor meet up. And again, they just kind of, went over a lot of the Brittany stuff and just, what should they do, right? Should they take out Alyssa? Should they take out Terrance? And there was a lot of like flip-floppy stuff. But in the end, it's going to be Terrance who's going. There was a very long nap time as well. But while nap time was going on, Monte was in the kitchen kind of making some food. Terrance eventually joined him, and he was talking about how he's so upset that Taylor doesn't want to take the deal that he offered Monte and Terrance and Taylor to kind of form up, do this thing that he was calling like the family reunion. Well, it's like, dude, you just last week were trying to get her out against Kyle, and now you want her to come together and do this kind of like movement thing. It's like, you can't 1 week be so adamant that somebody goes when there was all this like drama following it, and then the very next week, oh yeah, let's work together. Why are we targeting each other? It just doesn't work like that, Terrance. It just doesn't. We did have Brittany doing a little cam talk, and she kind of reiterated that Monte and Turner would be her main targets. But something that's interesting is, if she had to renominate somebody, it would be Taylor. It wouldn't be Alyssa, because she would want to make sure that one of the other guys went out. But if she didn't put up Alyssa, there's potential then that Taylor could go. So I don't know if she's thought about this through exactly, but that would be her potential plan if she won HOH. Taylor actually wants Brittany to stay as much as possible, so completely opposite ends of that. And then Monte and Turner, they eventually had a conversation as well. And Monte said, listen, I'm not trying to like flip-flop or anything, but I think it would be almost ridiculous if Michael doesn't win veto and we don't put him up. Like, we have to take that shot. And I think they will. If Michael doesn't win veto, I fully expect him to end up on the block and be headed to jury. And if they don't do that, whoever is HOH, if they don't put Michael on the block, the only one who I don't expect would be Brittany. I think Michael and Brittany are going to try and protect each other in this double as much as they can. But anyone else, if Michael doesn't win this veto and he's not on the block, I don't know what you're doing, because you're not trying to win this game. He is going to win out. He's going to win every competition and keep himself safe, and there's nothing you'll be able to do about it. He gets to play in every veto from now on. After the double, he'll get to play in HOH right away. So you have to take this shot. You have to do it. Now, I will say the timing for Michael is a little bit bad, because you'd rather be able to not have to play and win the final 5 HOH. Final 6 HOH and then final 4 HOH are a good kind of combo to have, because if you win the final 6 one and then you get a chance to play in the final 4 one, you get 2 shots at making it to the final 3, HOH and veto. So the timing for Michael kind of stinks, because if he has to win HOH after the double, let's say Brittany goes, and if he doesn't win HOH, he'll have to win veto. If he wins HOH in 5, he doesn't get to play in HOH in final 4. And that's a huge one not to be able to play in. We'll see how it all turns out for him, but he absolutely needs to win competitions to stay. And if he doesn't, he should be walking out that door and headed to jury. If not, I don't know. I guess people aren't really interested in winning and they just want to see him win the money. As far as I've been trying to think too, who are the biggest threats to win? Obviously, Michael is right at the top. Yes, there's some talk about the jury not being happy with him using the whole Kyle drama for game purposes. But at the end of the day, he's won so many competitions and he's done so well in this game that if he gets to the end, I just don't see anyone beating him. Maybe Taylor has a small chance to beat him, but otherwise, I think he beats everyone in the house. After that, I think Taylor beats everyone in the house. I think whoever she is up against, she would win. So Michael and Taylor are your number 1 and number 2 as far as who I think has the best chance to win this game. After that, I think Monte. I think Monte is the one who would have the best shot to win against anybody else left. Then after that, you got Turner. As far as Brittany, the only one she wins against is Alyssa. And for Alyssa, the only one she wins against is no one. Get Terrance. And Terrance is leaving. So that's kind of my order of like who I think has the best chance to win and who are really the ones that if you're in that house, you need to be thinking about getting out. If it's not Michael, Taylor, Monte, Turner, then Brittany. I think that's kind of the pecking order of who actually can win this and who would win against the most people getting to the end. Now, another thing I keep seeing too is that people would say, oh, well, I think Taylor could beat Michael. Here's the problem with that. I do not see any scenario where Michael and Taylor end up in the final 2 together. Here's the thing. If they're in the final 3 and it's Michael, Taylor, and anyone else, I don't see any scenario where either of them think taking the other is a good option. Michael, Taylor, Brittany, both of them take Brittany. Michael, Taylor, Turner, I think both of them take Turner. Michael, Taylor, Monte, that's one maybe you could make an argument for either or if you're Michael of taking Taylor or Monte, but I think still in that scenario, if I'm Michael, Taylor has such a good story. At least with Monte, he has a good social game, sure, but he's only really won one competition, and he doesn't have that great story of being all the way at the bottom at the beginning of the season to being at the end. So maybe they're a little bit of a toss-up if you're Michael, but otherwise, there's no real reason I see for Michael and Taylor to ever end up in the final 2 together. There's too many better options to take with you in the end. So it's really going to be interesting to see tonight what ends up happening with HOH. If Brittany wins it, she can try and keep Michael safe. If Michael doesn't win veto and Brittany's not the HOH, you should be seeing Michael head to jury. And if not, he has a very good shot to win this game. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. We will be live right here on the channel to watch the double eviction. So if you have not made it out to a live watch along, you want to see this one. It's going to be a good time. 2-hour episode where we'll see the first eviction between Terrance and Alyssa, and then one whole week of Big Brother in just this episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you come out and join us for that. I think you'll like it. Now, once again, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video? Smash that like button, especially if you made it all the way to the end of this thing. Hit that like button and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video and you never miss a stream. You'll get a notification as soon as I go live. You can also follow me over on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitch. We were actually live on Twitch last night doing a watch along for the Veto episode. And you can also join our Discord and join the conversation over there. So once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you tonight.